April 14th, 1912. North Atlantic Ocean. The sea was completely calm. The air was freezing cold. Stars were shining brightly in the sky. And in that dark night, the world's largest and supposedly unsinkable ship was on its maiden voyage. That ship was called RMS Titanic. People used to say, not even God could sink this ship. But just 2 hours and 40 minutes later, that very ship disappeared forever into the depths of the ocean. What really happened that night? The beginning of a dream. Titanic was built by the British company White Star Line. It was not just a ship. It was a miracle of engineering. 882 feet long, as tall as a 17-story building. Luxury so grand it could rival a royal palace. On April 10th, 1912, Titanic began its first journey from Southampton to New York. On board were nearly 2,200 people. Wealthy businessmen, immigrants chasing dreams, families, children. Everyone believed this voyage would be unforgettable. No one knew it would be the last journey of their lives. The warning that was ignored. On April 14th, Titanic received several iceberg warnings. But the speed was not reduced. The night was calm. The ocean looked like smooth glass. And because of that, spotting icebergs became even harder. At 11:40 p.m., the lookout suddenly saw something ahead. A massive iceberg. Iceberg right ahead. The ship tried to turn. The engines were reversed. But it was too late. A slight collision occurred. So slight that many passengers barely felt it. But below the surface, water had already begun flooding in. 6 watertight compartments were damaged. And Titanic could only survive if it were flooded. Now, sinking was inevitable. Sir, the ship will sink. The atmosphere changed instantly. Orders were given to prepare the lifeboats. But a terrifying truth emerged. The ship carried lifeboats for only 1,178 people. Yet more than 2,200 were on board. That meant there was simply not enough space. The order was given. Women and children first. Many passengers couldn't believe Titanic could actually sink. Some laughed. Some stood calmly wrapped in warm blankets. But slowly, the front of the ship began slipping underwater. And then, fear became real. The final moments. The band continued playing in the background. Yes, even as Titanic was sinking, musicians played to keep people calm. By 2:00 a.m., half of the ship was underwater. People were screaming. Some were praying. Some held their loved ones tightly for the last time. At 2:18 a.m., a loud cracking sound echoed. Titanic broke into 2 pieces. And then, at 2:20 a.m., Titanic vanished beneath the ocean. The water temperature was -2 degrees Celsius. Those who fell into the sea, most of them died within 15 minutes from hypothermia. That night, more than 1,500 people lost their lives. Only 705 survived. A ray of hope. Around 4 a.m., another ship arrived. RMS Carpathia. It rescued the survivors. When the world heard the news, it was in shock. The unsinkable Titanic was gone. Even today, Titanic rests 12,500 feet beneath the Atlantic Ocean. Darkness, silence, and the story of 1,500 souls who never made it home. Titanic taught the world a lesson. No matter how advanced technology becomes, nothing is greater than nature. Human pride sometimes becomes the very reason we sink. What would you have done? Would you have found a seat in a lifeboat? Or become part of a story lost in the freezing sea? Titanic was not just a ship. It was a memory, a warning, and a story that will never sink.